the Jesus Disciples Seminary textbooks can be ordered from Amazon. Do a search for Jesus Disciples Seminary. Lesson 5. Some of the natural attributes of God. A. The eternity of God. 1. That God is without beginning has already been established in the Arguments from Consciousness, see page 267. 2. That God can never cease to be is certain. A. Because he is self-existent. B. Because self-existence is necessary existence. C. Because necessary existence cannot cease to be. D. Because God cannot destroy himself. E. Because no created power can destroy him. F. Because he cannot fail or die with age, since he grows no older, neither does spirit fail with age. G. Because God exists independently of any cause, it is naturally impossible that he should cease to exist, for there can be no cause of his non-existence or ceasing to exist. His ceasing to exist, then, would be an event without a cause, which is absurd and naturally impossible. 3. The Bible fully declares that God is without beginning or end, that is, he is absolutely eternal. 4. God grows no older. If he grows older, it is certain that he had a beginning. A. If his age can be at all reduced by subtracting years or ages, it can be exhausted. B. If he grows older, his age can be reduced as certainly as ours can. C. If anything can be added to his age, then something can be subtracted from it, and it can be reduced to nothing. D. If God grows older, he was once young. If young, then he was once really young. And if once really young, baby, he began to be. E. If God can grow older, then his holiness has increased. So today God would be more holy than 1,000 years ago. Such logic is stupid. B. The omnipresence of God, everywhere present. 1. God must exist where he works or exercises any personal agency. 2. If the universe is infinite, unlimited in space, then God must exist in that universe. 3. Therefore, God must exist in every part of the universe at the same time, and thus, we say that he is omnipresent. C. The omnipotence of God, all-powerful. 1. God has the ability to accomplish whatever is an object of physical power. 2. Proof of this is the creation. 3. Further proof is the continued sustaining and governing of the physical universe. 4. However, he is limited in power when it comes to the free will of man. For example, God cannot cause or force man into heaven or hell against his choice or will. D. The spirituality of God. 1. If God were material, no other material being could exist. See Part B Omnipresence previous page. 2. The Bible expressly affirms that God is a spirit being. E. The immutability of God, unchangeableness. 1. God's existence is necessary, and necessarily just what it is. 2. God did not create and cannot change his own nature, any more than you can. 3. God's existence, as it is, depends on no cause, therefore, a change in his nature is impossible, as a change in his nature would be an event without a cause. F. The omniscience of God, all-knowing. 1. Omniscience as a word does not appear in the Bible. It is merely a theological term, and we must not let any man-made terms exceed biblical definition. 2. Omniscience is the absolute knowledge of all existences, events, and things, actual or possible. 3. Most of us have been taught that God knows everything. That is, he knows A. Everything that has happened in the past. B. He knows everything that is happening in the present, and C. He knows everything that will happen in the future, even to knowing every future thought and choice of every person in the world. 4. The Bible clearly supports with much scripture the above positions, A and B, but not one direct verse appears in the Bible to support position, C. 5. However, man in his effort to escape accountability and responsibility for his actions of free will, tends to pervert scriptures in an effort to put God on the hook for all happenings and events, and thus remove guilt and pending judgment from himself. 6. Let's take a look at the question, is God really omniscient or all-knowing, as we have been taught? Does God really know all of our future thoughts, choices, and actions long before we think, choose, or do them? 7. What is free will? To help us determine the proof of God's foreknowledge, let us first define free will, all definitions taken from Webster's New World Dictionary. A. The human will regarded as free from restraints, compulsions, or any previous conditions, freedom of decision or choice. B. The doctrine that people have this, free will, as opposed to determinism. Determinism. A. The doctrine that everything is entirely determined by a sequence of causes. B. The doctrine that one's choice of action is not free but is determined by a sequence of causes independent, outside of, his will. 8. Let us also check out the word free. A. Not in bondage. B. Not under the control of some other person or some arbitrary power. C. Able to act or think without compulsion or arbitrary restriction. D. Having liberty, independence. E. Able to move in any direction. F. Able to choose for itself, not restricted by anything except its own limitations or nature, original makeup and construction. 9. From these definitions we can draw the following logic. That which is caused cannot be free. That which is free cannot be caused. 10. Before we go on into a scripture-by-scripture examination, Lesson 7, pages 281 to 323, of this all-knowing attribute of God, let us consider one man's study into this question. See Cosmic Chess, next lesson. All of the Jesus Disciples Seminary textbooks can be ordered from Amazon. Do a search for Jesus Disciples Seminary.